Good. Cheers for doing
No
this.
worries.
So we'll make a start.
Okay.
If that's all right.
Yeah,
You got your water. I've got my coffee.
Yep. Got me water.
Awesome.
A pint of vodka. No,
Water. Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So today on A Good Old Natter With, I have with me Jim Bagley. How you doing, mate?
I'm not too bad, thanks.
Good. Had a good day at work, have we?
Yeah, it's been good. We sadly I can't really say anything yet, but we released yesterday, and seems to be going okay so far. So I'm under NDA, so I can't say anything yet until I've been given the all clear to do so.
Oh, right, okay.
But yeah, everything's going good so far with it.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So, Jim, what was your first introduction to games? What was your first?
The arcades.
Yeah.
Yeah. I grew up by close to what was a seaside resort, which was Blackpool, not Blackpool, New Brighton, and they had a whole street of arcades, and yeah, it was great. So being able to go there and play the games, and it got me hooked on games, and I knew that that's something I wanted to do, even though I didn't know how or where you would do it until later on, obviously.
Yeah.
It was I loved playing the arcade games, and we also had the like a circus that would come by every summer or so.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they'd have an arcade on that as well, which would be even closer. It would be in the local town that we were in Morton, and on the shore. And yeah, I'd go and play on the arcades and the fair rides.
Yeah. It's a similar story to myself, really. And in the local chippies and stuff like that. The only thing is, we didn't really. We had a little arcade in the area, but for us, it was travelling up to Rhyl mainly.
Yeah.
And Prestatyn and Tulaka, all that part of North Wales.
Yeah.
And that's where I got to see a lot of the first arcades, which I was absolutely addicted to. I wasn't bothered about the fair; it was always the arcades. Yeah. So how about console stroke computer wise? What was your first memories of those?
My first memory is the TV, Pong game with football, and it was
the grandstand.
No, the TV Color Master. Mark IV or something, I think it was called. I can't remember.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and it had the first one was just with the paddles, and then the second one I had the light gun as well. So you shoot the dot.
Okay.
Bouncing around and you shoot it.
Was that in colour or black and white? Was that
black and white, obviously.
Black and white one. Yeah.
Didn't have colour games then.
No. Well, that's it. Yeah, I mean, my first little TV in my bedroom was a black and white one, and I think it had 4 channels. So that was your extra selector, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how about computer wise? What was your
my first? Well, my first view on them was in high school. And they had one of the computers that's right behind you, a BBC.
That one? Yeah.
As always. And they had one BBC, which everyone was playing games on. In whenever you could go in, like break time or lunchtime or after school, everyone would be queuing up to play their turn on like Chucky Egg and Pac-Man and all the Frogger and all the great BBC arcade conversions. And they had 6 Sharp MZ80Ks that were doing nothing, and one research machine, 380Z. And because there was 6 Sharps doing nothing, and they had the programming, the basic book with it, I thought, while I'm waiting, I'll see what, if I can learn how to program. And I started typing the stuff in the book, and then I'd like look at it and try and see how it worked, and then try and decipher what things were doing what things, and then basically started making my own games so that I could play my own games while I waited to play my turn on the BBC. And that was, I even got to the point where I would take the book home and read through it.
Oh, right,
of an evening, yeah. And on my mum seeing me do this and be that devoted to this new computer thing, that she ended up getting me a ZX81. And then I really started, I just went full in. Every night after school, come back, I wouldn't bother with the computer club much more. And I'd come back, start like do my own programming on ZX81 in BASIC. Didn't know any machine code back then, obviously. And then I progressed because I wanted something a bit bigger and I had more memory. Well, although my mum did get me a 16K add-on, so I could play 3D Monster Maze and stuff like that. And then she then partexed it and got me a VIC-20.
Oh, okay, you moved to VIC-20. Okay.
Yeah, and used to play Perils of Willy, great game.
I've never played that.
Manic Miner clone, really good.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, the funny thing about that was we spent the whole summer, me and my sister and their kids, playing, trying to complete it over the summer, because on the back of the book it said 33 levels. And at the end of the summer, I managed to finally get to complete the 32nd level, and it went back to level 1. There wasn't 33, there was just 32, and it must have been a typo.
Oh, right. Okay. So
well, thinking about it now, 32 is a nice round programmer number anyway. So
yeah.
So I can see why it was 32 and not 33, but like I say, it must have just been a typo in the manual.
Wow. And did you just go back to the main menu or straight back to level 1?
No, just back to 1, yeah.
Oh, okay. And reset the score? Or
No, I think the score carried on, but we were just concentrating on getting the wasn't concentrating on high scores, just to complete it. In fact, I can't even remember what my score was.
Well, no, I wouldn't expect you to. So where did you go from the VIC-20?
Then she, because that only had like 3.5K, and I wanted something bigger so I could do bigger games. Then she got me an Atari 800 XL.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
With the tape drive. And enjoyed playing a few games on that. And then after that, she finally managed to be able to save up enough money to trade it in and get me a Specky.
Right. Okay.
So it's the rubber keyboard, obviously.
Yeah.
And then
was that the 16K model or was
48,
it the 48?
Yeah. And so then things started like really and this was only over like, I'd say about 2 years.
Right.
Over all of the computers.
Had you left school at this point? Or
No, I was still in school. Yeah. And it might have even been 1 or 1.5 years. And so then started making games with my mate Dave Wharton, and it was then in school we had this program that sort of on the BBC that had like 10 by 10 grid, I think it was, that you could put hex numbers in to do. Each hex number had an instruction, and then so it's sort of like a basic way of teaching you assembly. So you could like load and deaccumulate with the address of one box, and then another box would be the instruction to add another box to it, and then so that sort of got me into the mind, because I already knew programming logic through BASIC. It sort of made it easy to pick up this like other like pretend language that was pretend machine code, and then it got me to learn because I learned that it kind of let me see how simple the instructions are in an instruction set. And then what really got me started was in machine code was there was a printout in, I think it was computer and video games.
Oh yeah, CV&G,
yeah. And it was only so many lines. It was only a short program because I didn't want to do a big massive like 3-page, the usual hex dumps that they have where it was like a couple of pages in the mag because it was a little game or something. I didn't want to I thought that would be too much to decode through. So like say this white noise generator, it was like a half a page of data. And so I used the back of the Specky manual to see which numbers. It was in decimal, the data that it was poking into the RAM to call for the machine code routine. And so I used the manual to find out which values were what instructions. And then I wrote down the instructions for it. And then read through it and tried to work out what was happening to produce this white noise. And then I sort of worked out how it was and what it was doing. And then I thought, well, if I know that now, if I can then start doing stuff to put stuff on the screen, even if it's just print a character on the screen, then I can start advancing myself and learn more things to be able to do. Like, well, if I can draw a character on the screen, 8x8, then I can draw a map, a screen level for a game, and then you take it. You just keep taking it further each time. Just start little tiny steps, and that was where I started, like actually doing machine code. And then just started because we were making games in BASIC on the Specky, and it was too slow printing stuff, and like each screen, when you change screen, the screen would draw slowly.
Okay, rather than flip it,
reading the characters and then printing the character, and then so and then when I did it in machine code, it was like straight away, instantaneous screen change. I was like, yes, this is the way forward. This is how games should be. So I just started putting more and more bits of machine code into the games until I got to the point where everything became machine code.
Yeah. Can you remember your first game, like unreleased game?
First unreleased game. It was Seeking Sid.
Seeking Sid.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and there was basically trapdoors, and it was like a maze game that you'd like go through. And there was like trapdoors with spikes that like drop down, and like when they come to the bottom, it'd play this white noise. It was just and that's all it was for the little bit of machine code. And then so we started building up with more, drawing screen, the way it drew the screen, and then we decided that because it was only a basic game initially, everything was 8x8s, and we wanted to make it bigger, so we then like scrapped that game and then went on to do like a Terminator game. And then,
okay.
Yeah. Was it a Terminator?
And was it based off the Terminator at that time?
When was the Terminator out?
Oh, was it 80? The original one?
Yeah.
It was early 80s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was early
Anyway,
80s.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. Anyway, yeah, we ended up stopping that as well, because that was when I started work and doing my first game in the industry.
And was that straight from college?
Straight. Well, no.
No, straight from school.
No, straight from high school. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, so completely self-taught.
Yep.
And then straight in there,
straight in,
working as. Oh, that's a dream, mate. Absolute dream.
It was a bit of a nightmare, actually, because it was back then, like even as early as back then, Mike Singleton was a big name. There were lots of Midnight and all the rest of it.
Okay, yeah.
And so my first game was Throne of Fire, which was his design. So it had his name on it. So I was like going in, it's like, no pressure, but your first game is for Mike Singleton. So yeah, it was a bit worrying. So I had to.
Best way to learn though sometimes, isn't it?
It is jumping the deep end.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah.
So I've just clicked on your jimbagley.co.uk website.
Yeah, it's a bit old. That one.
I was going to say that's a nice young picture of you there, mate.
Yeah, I was yesterday.
Two little dogs on there as well. I'm guessing they're no
well
longer.
gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
I'm just looking at the programming languages. I've never heard of half of these ones that you know, mate. I mean, yeah, Z80 and 6502,
609, the Dragon, yeah, 60.
But then R3000. I mean, what's that?
Sony.
That's a Sony one.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you've got C++, Visual Basic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
SH1 and SH2. That's
okay.
Sega Hitachi. Found in the SH1, I think, was in the 32X, and the SH2 was in the Saturn.
What's the 80X86? What's that one?
PC.
Oh, of course, yeah. Of course, yeah. And I can see that you've got OpenGL, DirectX as well on there as well.
Yeah.
Parallax Propeller.
Yeah. A little microcontroller.
Oh, okay.
And it's awesome. It is like really nice to program. And it's a microcontroller, and you can do a lot of electronic things with. I used it to do when was it? Around 2003, I started playing with electronics, because I never really did any much in school, and they didn't really teach you enough to. I don't think the teacher.
No, I have to wire a plug normally.
Yeah,
if you're lucky.
Yeah, and he didn't really teach in a way that you could understand it. It was just like copy this basically. And so, yeah, I didn't really learn in school. So I started trying to do my own stuff because there was, it's like a, what was it? It's like a Space Invaders clone in, on a PIC chip, but it generated a a video display, a composite display.
Okay.
And so I was all over that. It's like I'm really interested in it because not knowing electronics back in the day, and then I started working out how the PIC was doing it, and then I'd change the programming on the PIC chip, and I'd make my own displays, and I did like a 3D monster maze, and it was generating the TV display as well. I'm doing the 3D monster maze display and game, but it wasn't fast enough to do color. To do the color based.
Oh, okay, right.
Which is probably why the early games like the color, the TV Master, they were only black and white because they're obviously not fast enough to do the color.
Right.
The color based. So, so I ended up like Googling like different chips, just little microcontrollers that were, see if there was any fast enough to do the color based, and there was an SX80 which ran at 80 MIPS, which is million instructions per second, and so 80 megahertz, but it did like one instruction every 4, so it's like 20 megahertz something like that. And they were created by a guy called Chip Gracie, and he and his brother run Parallax in America, and they are currently making, like, they do robots and other electronic stuff, and they actually make the chip as well, the propeller, and they're on the propeller 2 at the moment. But when I found the SX80, because it had been discontinued, they'd moved on to the next chip, which was the propeller, and that has 8 cores running at 80 megahertz, but it's one instruction every 4 cycles, so it's 20 megahertz, 20 MIPS, million instructions per second, but that's on each of the 8 cores. And the memory you've got like 2K of memory, which is enough for 512 instructions because it's a 32-bit processor. So you got 512 instructions that each core has, and they all run independent of each other. But they all have access to 32K of shared memory. And so I thought I'd make a cloned me ZX81 3D monster maze to it, and then I wrote a Manic Miner clone for it, and made a little like game console with it, and did a graphics chip, which was like a graphics chip add-on where you could program it with serial programming, or you could do it in parallel with send it 8 bits at a time, and to send it instructions to draw sprites. And because I'd use one of the cores to generate the TV display, and then I'd use another cog or core to generate the audio, and then I'd have 5 cores working in parallel to draw backgrounds, like a Spectrum screen or a Commodore screen or an Amstrad screen or an ST screen, and then add sprites on top of that. and then the last core was doing the serial programming or listening to the serial port, and then feeding the rest of the stuff with the information, like if it needed to do plotting onto the screen or drawing a character onto the screen or moving sprites around.
Oh wow!
So yeah, it's a great little processor, well, microcontroller.
Yeah, and that was all for your personal use. That was
it's all personal use.
Yeah.
And then there was they did the Propeller 2, which came out a couple of years ago, and that runs a lot faster, can run up to 350 megahertz, and instructions take 2 cycles to execute. So it runs a lot faster.
Wow.
So you can get a lot more sprites on a screen, and it's just really nice programming language. Like each instruction can be executed as it's also got like an if statement attached if you want it. So if the carry flag's set, just run this instruction. If the carry flag isn't set, skip past and do the next instruction. So you can make your routines a lot shorter because you've got the ifs on the one instruction. It's just, like I say, it's just a really nice processing language.
Yeah, yeah. It's how different is the device to like a Raspberry Pi Zero? Is it completely different, or is there similarities?
It's the similarities,
Yeah,
but it's only a microcontroller. It's not really.
It hasn't got the ins and outs.
Yeah. The Propeller 2 has got 512K of RAM to share, but it's not like where a Raspberry Pi is a computer and it's got megs of RAM rather than like half a meg.
Yeah.
So, but I like limitations, obviously, being a specky programmer.
Well, that's what brings you on, isn't it? And gives you the challenge to make things happen that aren't in a book. So yeah, totally get that.
Yeah.
Just looking at your vast list of games, mate, that you've worked on. Obviously, you're well known for games like Guts and Cabal and Midnight Resistance.
Yep.
Hudson Hawk, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One game I didn't realise that you're involved in was Doom on the Saturn.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Well, I used to play. Well, we all used to play.
We did.
Doom.
Yeah, still do.
Multiplayer in lunch break and after work. We
Yeah.
played Doom, and I was working for Special Effects, well, Rage at the time, and Paul Finnegan, who was the boss, came into the office in lunch hour and says, "You like Doom, don't you, Jim?" I said, "Yeah," because I was playing it at the time. And he goes, "Do you fancy porting it to the Saturn?" I said, "Too bloody right." So he said, "Okay," and then we got the gig, and the rest is history.
Yeah. Was it a straight PC to Saturn, or was the PlayStation involved at some point? Or
no, at first it was going to be. I was doing the PC version, and I got got all the rendering done with the hardware, and had it running full screen, full frame rate. Sent it off for approvals. 3 days later, got a phone call from John Carmack saying,
yeah,
I don't want you using the GPU. You have to use the CPU to render it. I was like, you do realize it's going to be slow. Said, don't care. I want you to use the CPU only.
Okay.
Use the CPU. So okay,
that's a bit odd.
Yeah, so we had to scrap that idea, and then redo it. And because time was had moved on.
Yeah.
The boss said, "Well, we can because like the PS1 version has already been done, and everything has been squeezed out of it to get down to fit into the amount of RAM we need on the Saturn. We'll use that version as a starting point. So we use the level data for that and some of the programming, and then changed all the renderer side and got the two SH2s like going at it to render the textures.
Mm. Was you happy with the Saturn version?
Nope, not at all.
No, because of that decision.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, yeah. Oh,
And then
a nightmare.
19 years later, at Revival, John Romero was there. So
yes, I was there.
Yeah.
I was there with
I'd gone 19 years thinking, why the hell would someone like kneecap their own game, their own IP? And I say with the one, no, they're the owner of the game. It's like, well, I can't say no. I'm not going to use the CPU. No, you want the CPU to be used, I'll do it. No, that's what you're paying for it, so you get what you want. And so, like I say, I was wondering for 19 years, why would somebody kneecap their own IP?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then I saw John Romero at Revival and said, look, John, we're both going to be busy doing talks today. Any chance we can grab lunch together and have a chat? And he said, yeah, sure. So we had we're supposed to have about half an hour for our lunch. We ended up taking about an hour and a half, I think, if I remember rightly.
Good chat, then.
It was a good chat, yeah. And he said that he was the one who did all the approvals. But when the Saturn Doom was being being approved, he was away on holiday that week, and John Carmack
made the decision.
And John Romero said if he'd have seen it running full screen, full frame rate, he said, right, get that finished, and when you finished, port it back to the PC. It's like, no.
Oh, man.
But,
yeah.
So,
that's I don't know what to say to that. That is just
I know.
Yeah. Have you ever felt like going back to Doom and making it the way that you wanted to make it? Or
yes and no.
Yes and no. Okay.
Yeah.
That ship sailed kind of thing.
Yeah, that ship sailed. I would have liked to, but I just can't be arsed now. I want to.
Or even a clone. That'd be nice. Yeah, I know. I won't go where what I was going to ask next.
Next being the operative word by any chance.
Yeah, there you go, mate. There you go. Also, another game on your list that I also didn't know about, and I'm a big fan of it, was International Karate Plus.
Yeah.
Game Boy Advance, PlayStation 1 version.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't even know about that version. So how did that go?
It went really well. Well, I think it went well.
Yeah.
It sold
compared to the Amiga version. That's what I'll say.
Yeah. Well,
was it a straight port or
no?
No?
Basically, I had a month or so to do it, and it was. I had a little bit of help with the front end by another programmer who worked with us. So he did the IK plus bit, at the start.
Yeah,
he did that, but I did all the.
I've got the music playing in my head now.
Yeah. Dun, dun,
yeah.
dun, dun.
That's it.
Yeah, I constantly got it playing in my head.
I'll bet.
Yeah. And I did that. At first, I was given the source to it, but when I printed it out, it was thick. It was a lot of pages. And
okay,
I thought it would be quicker to just do a visual port and start from scratch and and then that way it'll work in because I knew I had to do both versions. So I thought if I just do it and then use a way that I know that would work with both the PSX and the Game Boy Advance, then I know that it would be a quick conversion when I did the second port. And the second port only took me, I think, a week to do.
Wow. Okay.
So the second port was just a case of changing the way the screen handled, but it was all set up in such a way that it would work with both. Because I was doing characters and character tiles on the PlayStation as well, and so that it would just work across both. And again, like I say, that was how it was quick enough for me to be able to do the second port in a week.
Yeah. In some ways, I'm glad that he did a straight port, because everybody was trying to do 3D games, weren't they? And they were spoiling the originals by making it 3D.
Yeah.
Which at the time everybody thought it was a good idea, but
yeah, I know. It's when you're playing with classics, it's kind of best not to change too much.
Yeah, you can tweak them, and yeah. Is there anything in the PlayStation 1 you added over the other versions?
No.
Oh, right, okay.
Other than the Sony references.
Yeah.
Like controllers and that. But I didn't change anything for the PlayStation.
Okay, cool. So, without talking about the next yet, because we'll come to that, are there any current projects that you're working on at the moment? Ones that you can talk about, maybe?
That aren't on the next.
That aren't on the next, yeah.
I suppose I could do. I'm thinking about doing a programmable arcade cab.
Programmable?
Yep.
Okay, full size arcade cab?
No.
Or cocktail?
Like a little portable
like a desk one, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just for teaching kids and that, and anyone who wanted to make their own arcade game. So it would be in a cab. So it would be an arcade game.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. Because basically it's like when I was young and in the arcades, I knew I wanted to make an arcade game back then, which is why I've done a few in the like Pac-Man, Miner Man and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I've ported arcade games to the Specky and ported Specky games to the arcade, and it's really nice feeling when you've got like a cab that's like playing your own game on. It's kind of nice. It's like a nice feeling. No, because you always wanted to. I always wanted to make one back in the day, and I never knew how or where. So, just kind of like giving back to the community, to help give them the spark that got me into games, into the gaming industry.
Oh, that's interesting. I suppose that makes it more of a fun introduction to programming as well, doesn't it? Programming a game.
Yeah, because if it's an arcade game, it's basically what all the games are sort of spawned from, isn't it?
Oh, 100%, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And no matter what is converted from an arcade, you can never beat that feeling of standing at an arcade with the correct environment, the correct controls, the screen. It's all part of the magic, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I've gone down the Raspberry Pi route myself, and I built a big cab, and I've done the IKEA coffee table one, and it's fun, and you can go, yeah, I've done this, but it's not the same. It's not the same.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really cool. Just quickly, I saw a video earlier on of an event that you was at. I think it was one of the Blackpool events.
Yeah.
Play
I've
Expo.
done a few of them. Yeah.
Yeah, done a few of them. You played a game called Super Crate Box.
Yeah.
Now that looked smart.
It's a great game.
And I thought that it was a PC indie game just to make look like a retro game. And then I looked at what you was playing it on, and you was playing it on the Speccy Next.
Yeah. Mike Daly wrote the Speccy Next version.
Oh, he's a bit of a genius, isn't he?
Yeah.
So is that anything you're involved in at all, or were you just purely playing that game?
No, just purely playing it. It's
So
a
testing
good,
it out.
fun, like it's very like arcadey because it's that one more go.
Yeah.
And
it looks so impressive, and the speed of it.
Yeah.
That's the kind of level we need to be at, isn't it?
Yeah. It's the level where you're always in peril. You've got to be watching both sides of the screen from coming on both sides when you bounce back and forth.
Yeah.
And it's just, and when you get killed, which is imperative, when I'm making a game, me and Flash, we've got this rule: you can't die. You can't make a player die by something that is part of a game mechanic. You know, like on, dare I say, Dizzy. You know, where you jump and then you'll spin and then you'll land in the water and die.
Yeah.
That used to like really get on my nerves, and it made me not play Dizzy games.
Okay. Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Because it was like frustrating.
Because it needs to be the player's fault, doesn't it?
It needs to be the player's fault. Yeah.
Yeah.
And both Flash and myself are like sticklers for when making games. It's got to be the player's fault that they die. You know, like if they've missed, like not seeing a baddie coming in or whatever, or not seeing a bullet coming towards them, it's no.
Yeah, it's got to be the player's fault, not
a mechanic in the game.
Yeah, like a part of the level or scenery or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally get that. So let's talk about my favourite computer at the moment, which is a Spectrum Next. I don't know if you've heard about that one, Jim.
Nah, never heard of that one. What's that then?
Yeah. Oh, it's all right, you know. It's not too bad. So
are they coming yet?
Oh, we can't start off the Kickstarter 2, can we? We can't go down that route. That. I've got my Kickstarter 1 and I've got my Hengo here, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
Okay, so your next projects.
Yep.
Is there any new next projects that you're working on that you can talk about?
Well, the space one that I'm doing.
Okay.
Called Armor Force, which is like
is that a running title?
It's a running title for it.
Okay.
Yes, we haven't decided on a finite title for it yet.
Yeah.
And that's basically massively multiplayer online game where you pick a team, red, yellow, green, or cyan, and then you've got to all team together and take over each of the solar systems. There's 425 solar systems in the world, in the universe, and then each of the solar systems has 16 planets in, and up to 16 planets and up to 4 space stations where you can do trading and fix your ship up or get power ups for it, or speed boosts or whatever, and or do some hacking to get more like cash to give you funding to buy more stuff. And yeah, it's big, it's huge.
Yeah,
and each planet has got like a massive level on as well, and they're all going to be randomly generated, well, programmed, because generating that many levels would take far too much time.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's good. It's getting there. Just been mad busy with my work, my main work. That's currently the project's coming out. Well, it's out as of yesterday, and so yeah, that I can get back on that doing that game now because I've been so busy.
How far off are you finishing, or is it going to be a bit yet?
There's a bit yet because there's a lot of flight paths for the baddies and stuff that we need to get working and making sure that they follow the contours of the level.
Yeah. Are you doing the graphics at all, or have you got a different graphic artist?
I've got an artist doing that.
Yeah. Sound and music.
Sound and music, but that's not been done yet. We're waiting on having like a first playable ready with everything in, and then the musician can have a play and then add some music to it.
You going down the demo route first, or do you think you'll demo it at shows and do it that way?
I'll probably demo it in shows,
yeah,
or RCM or something like that.
Yeah. Get the interest that way.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's possibly going to be like a next year title.
Yeah. It started out small, but then grew big and grew bigger and bigger and bigger. Because we needed some multiplayer games, so we ended up like adding the multiplayer side of it, and you're part of a team, and it just grew exponentially.
Yeah,
so it's just filling all that stuff out now, making sure it all works.
How because it's multiplayer.
Yep.
How's that going to work server wise? Is this something you're going to run yourself, or are you going to pay a company for? And will somebody need to pay a subscription for that, do you think? Because somebody's got to pay for the server at the end of the day, haven't they?
Yeah. I don't know yet.
You haven't got that to that stage.
That far yet. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to see how much it's going to cost to run it and see how much it uses data wise, whether I pay from the money coming in from the game, selling the game, or whether it's a because we want it to, like, I'd like it to be able to do the I don't know whether you saw on my Kickstarter, like with the next chat.
I was going to ask you about next chat as well. Yeah,
because it's all getting redone and rejigged to make it more optimized and stuff, and which is why it's probably not been up for a while. It
was in alpha stage anyway, wasn't it? Your next chat.
Yeah, it was only really in alpha stage. So yeah, he's in the middle of rejigging that. He's added a nice feature.
Oh, okay. To next chat.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
I don't know. I'm.
Oh, okay.
You
can just.
Fuck it. I'm going to say it.
Go on then.
Right.
It's a bit exclusive now. You say
this is a big exclusive for you.
Oh, wicked! Okay,
next
mate.
Chat.
Yeah.
Is going to have Chat GPT GPT in it, or GPT.
Oh, it's going to have AI.
Yes.
Oh, okay, interesting.
There's going to be a bar in there.
Yeah.
Like a chat room.
Right.
And you can talk to the barman. And the barman is the Chat GPT.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. And to keep the Chat GPT costs down.
Right.
It's you can only ask up to 3 questions a minute, I think it is, that you get before you have to start paying. So we're limiting it to 3 GPTs per minute.
Right.
Okay. But even so, that should be fine.
That's a nice little little feature.
Yeah.
Is the graphical interface changing at all? Because it was quite basic at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah. Going to change it.
Yeah. To more of a modern type look, or
I don't know, because I want to kind of keep
it retro. Yeah. It's a difficult one, isn't it? That I get that.
Yeah. I like the specky font. It's just it's my favorite font.
Yeah.
I've even used it in some games.
Yeah.
Like not the exact font, but like a clone of it. And I used when I'm doing tools, I use the specky font.
Did you really? Yeah. Well, but why not? If you like that font,
they don't get released. So yeah, I use the specky font on my tools. And it's just got all the characters you need anyway. So
yeah.
So yeah.
Is there any other games or programs that you're working on, or ideas?
Yeah, I'm working on a driving game.
Oh, okay.
Next, yeah.
Arcade style or simulation?
Arcade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you was going to do a conversion to test drive then, or something.
What for the next?
Yeah.
That would be nice, but no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like a Sega Rally type thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I won't bother with the stunt car race or.
Oh yeah, stunt car racer. Yeah.
Or the hard driving.
Yeah, that's it. So it's going to be arcade style driving type game. Okay.
No. It'll just be top down racer.
Oh, top down. Oh, right. Okay. So like your Indy 500 or Oh, Spy Hunter. It's not going to be Spy Hunter, is it? Is it going to be Spy? No.
It's track based.
Track based.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So like the indie games then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they were super popular on the Amiga, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the other one? Indianapolis 500 by Graph Gold.
Yeah.
That was another good one. So yeah. Any others, or are we going to get any sequels to your current next lineup?
Well, there's still want to do Bugs in Space 2.
Obviously, yeah.
And I don't know what I can and can't say yet.
No, that's fair enough. How about Rams? Are you going to add anything more to Rams?
Yeah, but I still want to work on Rams and do more games on Rams because we like Rams. Rams is ace.
Yeah. It just reminds me of mine, but for the next.
Yeah, and it's weird with Rams because it's running like natively, which is nice, which is what I like about it. It's not like emulating the instructions. The game thinks it's running
on the hardware.
Yeah. And then what we do is we have an interrupt that happens every 50th or 60th, depending on 60th most arcade games. And then we take the RAM from how the arcade used it for the screen, and then remap it to the Spectrum next screen, and then where the sprites were, we then take what images they were using and which sprite positions they were at, and then put them in the sprite positions on the next.
Where? So I'm guessing it's just one particular arcade board of that time, so it'll only be able to run those games from that
Any can run
board.
like Z81s or 8081s or that doesn't have too much memory or too much, like, not too intricate, because we've only got so much we can do and so many sprites. I know we've got more sprites than a lot, but some games have a lot of sprite characters. We only have so many, so it's just what we can fit in.
Yeah.
I would like to do Rally X.
Oh, classic, yeah.
Yeah, but it depends on whether I can get the two screens working.
Right.
So yeah, that's my next aim, to get that running on.
Yeah, like a bit of split screen gaming.
Yeah,
yeah. That's
because that would be nice. Yeah.
Well, you can't beat couch play.
Yeah.
With your mate round. The internet sort of spoilt it a little bit. I mean, when we were playing Quake and Doom, we were monitors, computers, LAN night, pizzas, Red Bull.
Another one I want to do is at RC. I don't know whether you were at RCM when I brought the cabs round.
No,
you must have missed that one.
What little miniature cabs?
Mini cabs, yeah.
Right, okay.
I've got 8 cabs that are running on one microcontroller, a propeller 2 from Parallax, as we were talking about earlier.
Oh, independently for each machine.
So it controls all 8 machines.
Okay.
And they all run at once. So you can unplug one cab from the thingy and then plug another cab onto it, and it'll carry on from where that one was. So the cabs themselves are just like dumb terminals. So it's just the joysticks sending data to the propeller, and it's getting video back and audio back, and the audio is coming out the speaker.
Oh wow, that's one of those just because I can things, isn't it?
Yeah.
So cool though. So are these cabs that you built yourself, or are they off the shelf?
They were built by a mate of mine for me, because we were going to do it for just single cab, and then we got it to the point where we got all of the whole cab emulation, the 8080 emulator, playing 9 channels of sampled sounds, and reading the analog joysticks, well, the digital joysticks over one cable, sent analog, because it gets all of the up, down, left, right, and the fire button, converts that into a number, and then sends that analog down the line, and then reads the analog value back into the microcontroller, and then gets the bits back. So that was interesting.
Oh, wow.
So basically, when you plug the cab in to the thingy, it's just a network cable. It's all gets transferred over the one network cable. Power, video, audio, and the input.
Yeah. All right. Oh, wicked. So what do you do for a living then, mate? Because I know everybody thinks that you're permanently working on the Spectrum next, and you're responsible for not getting Kickstarter 2 out. You know, all
that. I've just released a racing game on the Xbox One, the Xbox Series S, the PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5.
Wow. And what's that game? Can you not say yet?
I can't say yet. But
that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look out for that. I'll look for your name on that one then. Mm-hmm. That's brilliant. There we go. So apart from programming, gaming, electronics work, have you got any other interests? I noticed on your page, are you a biker, mate?
Yeah. Blackbird.
I've been on the back of a Blackbird. Scared the absolute shit out of me. Years ago when I was, because I've got a few mates who are bikers.
Yeah.
And I think at the time, my mate had a CBR 400, and then he moved up to a 600, and I was always on the back of his bike. And at the time by us, there was a rock calf, Exposure Rock Calf. Great place. Shame it's not there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the riders there was, I was admiring his bike, his Blackbird. He was like, "Oh, take me out on it."
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! He went down the dual carriageway, and I did generally think I was going to come off this.
They are quick when you want them to be.
Yeah, I had.
It's like
proper brown trousers after that. Yeah.
The first Blackbird I had was a Jap import, and it could do like easily do 90 in first. And he found out because I took it on a track in Wales, in Anglesey.
Oh, but that was fun.
That was ace. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, you only needed first gear.
Jesus. So what did you get out your bike that day?
Well,
what speed did you get out of it?
The track in Anglesey isn't that big. Yeah. I could only get to about 130. Then I'd have to like brake.
So what was that, second gear then?
Yeah, basically. And yeah, it's like monumentally quick. I mean, there's quicker bikes now, but yeah, in the day it was the fastest bike you could get. And the funny thing is, the only reason I bought that was I was going to get a CBR 600. It was something to commute to Manchester when I was working at Creations, and because I'd not long like passed my test. I 125, and then I got a 650, and then like a Bros 650, and then I got a NTV. That was 600. Was that 650? I think. And then I wanted to get something like a CBR 600, and I asked the insurance company like what the insurance would be, and it would be like it was either they wouldn't insure me or it was like $2 or $3 grand. And I thought, well, if that's $2 or $3 grand, how much is a Blackbird? And apparently it was only 700 quid for me. So I was like, right,
that's mental.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I can have a CBR 6, or I can have a CBR 1100 for like a fraction of the price.
Yeah.
So it's like no brainer.
That makes no sense, does it?
It doesn't.
Good for you, but
it was because the CBR 6s were highly desirable for
so it was
thieves.
A nickable one.
Yeah.
You would have thought the Blackbird would have been, but
I know. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah.
So is that your main form of transport? Or is that just a summer thing?
That was my main form of I don't use it as much now. It's a car because the roads are way too busy, and
that they are, mate. Yeah. So it's purely if you want to blast
on the phone or while they're driving or whatever. So I don't go in the on the bike anywhere near as much.
Yeah. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Jim, it's been. I'm aware of the time. I think you got a meeting or something at 7. Haven't you?
Yeah, I've got a meeting at 7.
Yeah. Mate, it's been awesome talking. I finally got you. After all this time. Are you at RCM on the 23rd of September?
Yes.
Oh, wicked.
See you there.
Yeah, I'll see you there then, mate.
Yeah.
Right, I'll let you go. Cheers again, mate. Really appreciate it.
Anytime. Do it again if you want.
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah. Get them games out on
get the rest of it. Yeah.
And then we'll have a chat again.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
All right then, mate.
Right, take it easy.
See you later.
Have a good one. Ta-ra.
Bye.